Hi there, this is Jeanette for Whimsy Stamps. Today I have a birthday card to share with you, and what I wanted to show you is that you can color an image with Copic markers, which is what I did, and then you can go over that coloring with Prismacolor pencils to add additional depth and shading to it. So here is the image that is colored just with the Copic markers, and I will list those numbers for you on my blog, and I'll leave a link to that below this video. And now I'm using some color pencils. So these are Koh-I-Noor pencils, but you can use Prismacolor pencils if you want. I really like these woodless pencils. They really blend just like butter. Really beautiful. So I'm going to be listing the numbers of the pencils I'm using. And you could see that I sort of sharpened it to a very fine tip. I am actually adding sort of definition to her hair. I'm sort of drawing strands in with this darker brown color, and also sort of making the edges a little darker. And you can see that it really brings a little bit more life to the hair. So you can blend with your Copics, but you don't have to like overdo it, because when you put the pencils on, it gives this beautiful depth to it. So the image was stamped with Neenah cardstock and Memento Tuxedo black ink, like I usually do when I'm using Copic markers, and there's no problem going over it with your pencils. Now I'm not going to be blending this color out. This next color is sort of a rosy pink color, and that is what I'm going to use to add depth and definition to anything that's pink. So the berries and her little outfit here, and you can see I'm just adding little touches of this color where I want some additional shading. Then I'm going to take some Gamsol, and on a blending stump, which is quite a fine one that I'm using, I am going to sort of blend out, dissolve out that pencil color. And you can see that I sort of go off screen, and that's when I'm sort of scrubbing off any pigment that's on my blending stump. If I have too much color on my stump, I'll just blend it away over on the side so that I can keep some lightness to the coloration. Next one I'm pulling out is a sort of gray one for the bunny, and here I won't be blending it with Gamsol, but I am adding some like fur lines, just give it a little bit of definition, a little like texture. I'm going to deepen up the coloring on the wings, and the only area that I'm actually going to blend is this one here and the little circle. I'm going to add a little bit to the flower that's in the bunny's hair. Just went over the shoes again just to make sure it was blended really smoothly. I'm going over the gold on the clasp of the box and adding a little bit more of that gray to the white lace on her outfit. To do the cheeks, I'm going to scrub the color on the corner of my paper, blend it out with a sort of medium-sized blending stump, and then I'm going to go onto my paper. This way I can really make sure I get a very soft blend and that I don't add too much color to the cheeks and sort of get, you know, clown cheeks. So that's my little trick when I'm adding cheek color using Prismacolor pencils or these Koh-I-Noor pencils. So I'm deepening up the green on the leaves here, using another tiny blending stump to do that. And then this is a little off frame or out of frame, I didn't realize, but I took a T ruler and I just drew like a horizon, like added the floor, I guess you would say. So separating the floor from the ceiling type of thing. So I drew a nice straight line with my T ruler, and now I'm just sort of scribbling in some of that light gray. I am going to then blend it out with a blending stump. And actually before I did that, I did add a little bit of black. So that second color was the black color. And then I'll take a larger blending stump and I'll just blend it all out together, and you get a nice sort of shadow on the floor. It's not too dark, but it really sort of makes the image look like it's sitting on something and not sort of like floating around. You know, it sort of, I guess, grounds it, I guess would be the term. And then For around this little fairy, I wanted a sort of glowing yellow color, and I didn't have the specific color I needed in my Koh-I-Noor box, so I did pull out a Prismacolor pencil. This is my favorite one for adding this glow. And so you can see I'm scribbling the yellow right around the image. I'm putting more on the left side as you were looking at it. I'm putting more yellow on that side than I am on the right side. And I apologize for going out of focus here. I don't know what was happening with my camera. I think it's going to stop soon, so I apologize for that. So once that's all sort of scrubbed right around the image, I'm going to take a medium blending stump and I'm just going to go work in circles, dissolve that color out, and then sort of bring it out. And you want to sort of blend it right out so that it fades to nothing, like fades to white. And you don't see any harsh lines. Now you are going to see a little bit of, like, it looks like darkness. The paper is a bit wet actually from the Gamsol. So once that evaporates, you won't have that sort of funny haze around the yellow. So I think this is so pretty. Just be careful now that you're not going to dip into any other colors. Like if you sort of picked up some of that gray, it would sort of blend into your yellow. So be careful when you're working around any areas that you've already colored with pencil, that you don't mistakenly pick up some of that color. So now I'm taking this really pretty frame. This is from Whimsy's. This is their Many Thanks Card Builder die set. It's a beautiful frame that sort of punches out little hearts all around it. This is a brand new die. This is the Magical Wishes birthday die set, I think it's called. Anyways, I'll have the link to it below this video. And the stamp is from a clear stamp set that sort of matches it, the Magical Wishes one. They're brand new for April. So I sort of wanted them, I want to die cut one word and stamp the other word. I think that's like a really fun look. So right now I just trimmed my paper so that I could fit it into my Big Shot, and I'm just running it through my Big Shot. I have that nice magnetic plate underneath, so it really, the die stays down really nicely. And then I'm using some gold foil paper and cutting out that birthday word. And I am such a big fan of how that looks. I just love it. It is so pretty. So once that's done, I will start assembling my cards. So I cut a card base, A2 size card base, and I chose this really pretty green color. And there is my gold foil birthday. I haven't stuck it down, but I know it's going to be about there. And now I'm just sort of figuring out exactly where I want to stamp the word wishes. And using the MISTI, I'll be able to line it up perfectly. Now I had a little bit of black ink on the window of my MISTI, so I did go ahead and wipe that off. I didn't want that on my card. And I decided to stamp it one more time so it would be really nice and richly black. And you can see how easily you can sort of combine a die cut word and a stamped word without having to really fuss too much or be too worried that you're going to make a mistake. I'm adding a little bit of glue now to the word, using my tweezers to sort of position it properly exactly where I want it. I'm going to put a mounting black over it so that it sort of dries nicely adhered to the paper, adding a few white highlights with a white gel pen, and that is it. My card is all done. A pretty simple one-layer birthday card, but it has a lot of texture and depth because I used, many different mediums, and that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this sort of encourages you to try different techniques and new things, and thanks for watching. You'll find all the supplies that I used and links to those supplies below this video on YouTube or on my blog. You'll find the Copic numbers of the markers I used to color the image on my blog, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell for notifications if you'd like to see more videos.